Winter is coming. Will you take the lane? Okay, so that was a cheap reference to a very popular TV programme that I have to admit I didn't completely understand. I mean, they were enemies one minute, friends the next, then anyway, cyclists. Are we really roadhogs? Well, I suppose the answer you get will depend very much upon who you're asking. Ask many motorists and you will get an overwhelming yes. But why is that? From their point of view, we're always getting in their way, slowing them down, jumping red lights, riding in the middle of the road, riding two abreast, and my personal favourite, shouting at each other. Now, to be fair, looking at it from a non-cyclist point of view, I can kind of understand why they think that. Yes, we do ride in the middle of the road, yes, we do ride two abreast, and yes, we do shout at each other. But what many motorists perhaps don't realise is that we aren't doing this because we think we own the roads, or even because we're trying to deliberately annoy them. No, we do it for very good reasons. Very often to prevent ourselves from being squashed under the wheels of a number 7 bus, particularly as the number of cyclists being killed or injured on the roads here in the UK have risen faster than the increase of cyclists on the road. Let's face it, us cyclists are pretty vulnerable road users. We have lumps of metal whizzing past us, at times only centimetres away from our heads, with only a block of polystyrene for protection. Anything we can do to make our journey safer has to be a good thing, right? What many of the more angry motorists probably don't realise is that it's completely legal for us to ride in the middle of the lane. In fact, there's even a proper term for it. Primary position, or taking the lane. You see, I don't just slap this stuff together. More often than not, we choose to ride fairly close to the edge of the road so that motorists can pass us freely, and we generally only ride in the middle of the lane to either avoid potholes or poor road surfaces, to allow a door's width between us and parked cars, or if, like me, you're gravitationally challenged when going round steep bends. Obviously, potholes and poor road surfaces can be pretty lethal for cyclists. Hit one at speed and you are coming off, and if a car's behind you, it doesn't bear thinking about. Similarly, somebody opening a car door in front of you and it's also lights out. The other times a cyclist might take primary position is when riding through slow traffic or when turning. In congested cities, bikes are sometimes the fastest vehicles on the road, so it makes perfect sense that they overtake queuing or slow moving cars, and moving over to the white line when turning actually allows cars to continue straight on. But what about riding two abreast? Again, it's perfectly legal, although riding three abreast is most definitely not. But just because something is legal, it doesn't mean that we should always do it. Hopefully, we're reasonably intelligent adults and should be able to work out for ourselves when to ride two abreast and when not. But now we're in the realms of, is it easier for a car to pass a short, wider group of cyclists or a thin, longer one? In my experience, most motorists are equally intelligent people and realise that they need to pass a group of cyclists, so they do so as safely as possible without any drama. But for some motorists, it doesn't really matter whether we're two abreast, in single file, or blocking the road doing a line dancing routine. We're holding them up, and that's that. What they don't think about is that they pass slow moving cars all the time without too much fuss, but Then we haven't paid our so-called road tax, have we? And as such, we shouldn't be on the road. At best, these people probably think that we should be using the extensive network of good quality cycle lanes that crisscross the country instead of their roads. And okay, if we lived somewhere like the Netherlands, that might work. But here in the UK, our cycle lanes aren't always the best to ride on. They're frequently covered in broken glass, can be ridiculously convoluted, can end for no apparent reason, and most of the time are shared with pedestrians. No, I'll stick to the roads, thank you very much, Mr. Amateur Traffic Cop. And what's more, according to the Department of Transport, if I'm cycling more than 16 miles or 26 kilometres an hour, I shouldn't be using the cycle path at all. So that's what we as cyclists are legally allowed to do. But what about the things we aren't? Well, top of the pops is our old favourite, jumping red lights. Now, it doesn't matter if you're in a hurry on your way home from work, a Deliveroo rider transporting human organs to the local hospital for transplant, or a trendy hipster on a fixie riding round Shoreditch in a rush to buy beard oil. It is illegal to jump a red light. Not only is it out and out dangerous, but it allows motorists to tar all of the other responsible cyclists with the same brush. I even have it on good authority that there is a special place in ironic hell for people who jump red lights, where you endlessly do the ride of your life only to discover that it's not on Strava. And who wants that? Couple of other things that will potentially get your collar felt by the local constabulary. Riding at night without lights, again a very dangerous thing to do. Riding your bike across a pedestrian crossing, we're not pedestrians, and riding on a footpath for the same reason. There are no two ways about it. Cyclists are every bit as much road users as cars, and as such we should be using the road responsibly, particularly if we want the wider motoring community to take us seriously and treat us with courtesy and respect. With various places around the world now looking to make cycling even more difficult by having licenses, tax and insurance, it's especially important that we at least are seen to be upholding the rules of the road. Thanks for watching.